This is the YouTube app on my iPhone 8. And if you can give me a minute to set this up here, it's weird because this is the only one that really works. On this thing, I know the title sucks, guys. So I'm sorry, I didn't really get a chance to set the title on this. So let's just get to the point here. So I'm trying to get the chat up on the screen on my other phone, on my tablet here, so I can. Okay, is that thing on? I think you swiped it, right? Yeah. Okay. Swipe. I'm trying to swipe it. Okay. Gotta clean the screen on this thing. Yes, I know. All right. So let me just use this opportunity to explain what I'm talking about. Let me get on here with the YouTube app so I can actually read your chat, and then we'll explain to you. And that's part of my frustration, is that I'm needing to. Okay, so let me go to my channel. So I'm gonna go to me, and I'm gonna go to my channel. I'm gonna go to my comments so I can read the comments. And let's see, so it's well live. So I think I was just talking about the screens. Crappy. I know. Okay. So switch this top chat to all messages. Oh, I want all messages. So how do I send this? Click on the gear again. The gear again, I just did that. Oh, I got it. Oh, live chat. Oh, okay, I did it wrong. Okay. So let me try just working here. All messages. Okay, I got it now. All right, so what we're gonna do is I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the frustrations. Okay, we're having. Okay, so this is an iPhone 15. This is not the very newest iPhone 16 or the future iPhone 17. This is the iPhone 15. This is not the top-notch one. But if you go ahead and I try to stream on this phone, this is what happens. And it is inconsistent. Okay, so here we have the screen. Okay, I bought a $200,000 vaccine eBay. Now it runs my smart lights. Jesus Christ. All right, okay. So let me just tell you. Okay, so here I'm gonna do is for this test is I'm gonna try to start the stream here. So I'm gonna hit next. Okay, so I'm gonna tap this and I'm gonna hit go live, and it looks like it's gonna start, right? And it kind of does, but sometimes it don't. Right now it's okay, but when I was trying to do it earlier, I couldn't get this to work. So it seems it's very inconsistent. Maybe they updated the firmware on this. I don't want to confuse you with too many apps going at once. So right now this phone at this point is working, but it doesn't make any sense. The API is just messed up. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm trying to understand how this works, and I am thoroughly lost. So let's retitle this one here. So, exclamation. Where's the percentage? And then right there. Hit title. That's it. Where's the stupid exclamation point on this thing? Oh, here it is. Title. T I T L. No, that's a J. Shit. TITLE. No, God, I'll never get this right. Shit, spelled that wrong. Okay, let me just try again. So it's I want to do title. I want to rename the stream a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna hit exclamation point. Then type in the letters ABC. And then type in TITLE. Let's call this one YT stream app. Do I need to put that in quotes? No, I have no idea. YT, oops, shit. Oh, okay, well, that's not really a good title. Damn, I keep screwing up on this. Alright, can you rename it on here? I'm trying to. Okay, but you're not doing a good job at it. I know that. Oh my God. Alright, so, okay, so it is exclamation point. Yes. Okay. So, gonna hit quote. Let's call this title ITLE space YT stream heck or hell. Okay. You keep typing. You gotta hit backspace. Backspace. You gotta hit a space. There ain't no. Just put in the word anyway. HELL. Hit send. Okay, that's better. All right. So, YT stream. Yeah, YT stream hell. Okay. Now, let's talk about what is going on here. You guys may not realize it, but right now we currently got on here 4 viewers. So where is all of those so-called magic viewers we're supposed to have with millions of views and lots of people? There ain't any. There is nobody here. It's nobody here. It's Patrick's, me, and maybe 3 other people. That's it. What's the big deal? This is your YouTube app. YouTube? Where is everybody? Talk about how great your app is. Tell me that it can properly make a pancake and make a pizza and create the perfect enchilada, and they tell me that it's a labor saver and makes it easy. I'm sorry, but it's not doing nothing for me at all. It isn't. It really isn't. It's not doing me a favor whatsoever. Not a single iota of a favor. It's butt kiss. It's really just butt kiss. I know you guys are just starting to come in. I get that. But the thing is that why did everybody think that this is so great? How you doing, best friend? My best friend, I get that. Well, I don't care how you think that this format is so great. It's not. I'll bet you a kangaroo that tomorrow, when after the stream is over, we're probably gonna have what? And we had 100 views? Well, gee, we had 100 views on the other stream. So what's that going to tell you? It doesn't tell me nothing. It's all bullshit. That's all it is. Hey, Galaxy, how you doing? Oh, and I got another different beef, but I'm gonna bring it up. What is it with this plastic screen on this tablet? I mean, let me see what I'm talking about. Where does all this crappy dirt come from? I've cleaned this glass, and it's got spots. I think it's underneath, Michelle. Yeah, I know it's underneath. But it doesn't make any sense. Okay? It's not glass, it's plastic. It's plastic! Of course, you can always carefully remove the plastic top and clean the plastic off. Or if it really bothers you, you can just rip the top off of it and just stick with just a rubber gasket. But what I'm trying to say is that I left a message with my therapist expressing my frustration with some of the stuff that was said earlier. Because it doesn't make any sense that everybody is, how you doing, Mimi? I didn't even get a chance to eat breakfast yet. I just wanted to just try to explain for some reason I'm getting a little bit upset. So when I tried to do this on yesterday on this phone with Noodles on Saturday, I couldn't get this app to run no matter what I did. And even if I do get it to run, there's no guarantee it's going to work either, because it would drop the ball every time and not tell me why. But maybe part of it is that the app was just Apple iOS just did a recent update on the API. YouTube app just did a recent update. Maybe they fixed the glitch between the two. We can discuss that, because I want to bring it up. This is iOS 8. I mean, I know it's not iOS 8. iOS, what is that? 16? 17 on this phone. And the very latest iOS, let's compare with iOS on this iPhone 8. It's working fine. No problem. I have had a couple of revisions ago, when I tried to save app on this phone, that the app would start okay, and then it would just drop the ball. I don't know if that was because of the API problem with the iOS support library or what. It was just getting to be ridiculous. The irony is, the Restream app, Studio Restream IO, on the iPhone 8 has its problems. If that makes any sense. It's just weird. I don't get it. Yeah, I understand. I get upset too. No, I don't. I only have one Android phone and one Android tablet. Do you want me to put this thing on a tripod? That's the one I was using to read the chat. This is. No, I don't. I only have one Android phone and one Android tablet. Do you want me to put this thing on a tripod? That's the one I was using. Yeah, it's, this is the only Android device that's current. The other one, which is my old LG phone, is really old and it doesn't even be able to do YouTube at all. I mean, not for streaming anyway, but watching videos, that's the only thing it can do. Um, no, I didn't. I gotta take the plastic part off to wipe the screen now because the dirt is underneath the plastic. And I gotta figure out how to get this off without breaking it. I think you gotta do it in the corner. Oh, God. I'll do it later before I break it. Hello, Fairy, how you doing? I'm just doing the vertical right now because I'm just trying to point out the frustration I'm having right now between the two phones regarding the vertical. But it looks like they must have got a firmware update because now this phone here supposedly can do vertical. Could do vertical last time, but it still basically would die on you. I wonder if some of that could be the networking. I have no idea. Slow is a pretty cool spell. I've used it many times. Allowing me, for example, what I would do in retail, I would dismount my flag mount in midair and then immediately turn on slow fall and like parachute to the ground. And the reason we do that was because sometimes I couldn't figure out how to originally land my flying mount that well. So it was great for really going to go straight at a certain place in the game. So slow fall worked fine for that. And it's something to do if you really think about it. It works. Makes any sense. Galaxy Eyes. We're not talking about the BlackBerry here, which pissed me off to no end. That's another phone. Apple's so-called servers that you're talking about. It's not like BlackBerry. In the BlackBerry iOS or applications. Okay, BlackBerry OS. They do not need to have an email server and a web server and a permission server. They don't need that. That's something that BlackBerry did. So RIM, Research in Motion, was the one that you needed specific BlackBerry access to certain servers to do even things like read your BlackBerry mail or do BlackBerry messaging. Apple doesn't require that. That never quite got that bad. But Apple is running into is a problem is, and so is Android for this extent, is the everybody is saying it's the same old product. So they're putting lipstick on the same stupid pig. It doesn't change. I don't care if it's iOS or Android or Windows Phone or whatever. You still talking about a touchscreen device with a slab of glass. It doesn't change. The phones really have not expanded that much in the last 5 years. They are all basically the same phone. An iPhone 8 is really the same thing as an iPhone 15, whereas this has a built-in USB-C port. The iPhone 8 has a lightning connector on it. And that's the difference. That's the only real difference. Oh yeah, faster processor, maybe a better camera, but is it really that difference? No. It's the same old, same old, same old. It hasn't changed. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, because if you think the iPhone 17 coming out is an iPhone 16, and maybe eventually the iPhone 18 is going to be any different, let me tell you what, it's not. These phones are really not advancing in the technology. They're all the same, really. iPhone 15, iPhone 14, iPhone, all the way down to maybe the iPhone 3GS. That's the difference. Nothing faster processors, more memory, better cameras, better screens. Same thing with the Android scene. Just sticking with the Samsungs because this is something I've experienced. Samsung phones and Samsung tablet, which I only have one here, it's the same old basic content. It hasn't changed nothing. There's no evolution. There's no real marked improvement in products other than faster, and that's it. It's just the same thing. It doesn't change nothing. It's like you can go ahead and say, your phone is now 5% faster, and then you're still going to charge me an EIP on it, of $100 or whatever it is, $50 a month. When really, the iPhone SE2, which is the slight upgrade for the iPhone 8, is really the same guts as in the iPhone 15, which I'm holding in my hand. That doesn't make any sense either, because it's like, it's the same thing. She needs the Pro Max version. Phones were meant only to last long enough until the next one came out. What's the plan for tonight? No, I don't have anything planned for tonight. No. By the way, I did get a brand new battery in my iPhone 8, which I had installed about a year ago, which is obviously what I'm streaming on. As far as the Pro Max goes, guys, the reason I chose not to go with the Pro Max is very simple. I didn't need the very slight marginal increases in quality. It just made no sense economically. I'm already paying off the EIP on the iPhone 15 pink phone. I didn't like the Pro Max color. This is pink. This is powder pink. And I like the powder pink look. But the other phone with their slate gray color just doesn't rule my interest. Yeah. So Michelle was was upset because she feels like she's not getting the kind of what money that she's throwing into phone gear is. She doesn't really feel it's worth spending more money on these phones when you really are not getting much of an increase in performance. Right, you're not getting much of an increase, but yet they want to sell you or upsell you with a more expensive phone, but you're not getting that kind of an upsell. You're not getting that kind of a quality. Nope. So you end up basically throwing more money around. But Michelle, however, needs her iPhone because it is got many adaptive technologies that she needs. Yeah, I'll show you one of them with this phone because the iPhone 8 doesn't have this. If I go here, okay, and right now, okay, I'm in a regular phone mode. If I type my tap my button here, 1, 2, 3, okay, you will see that as I'm saying something, it's coming up on the screen. This is fantastic for phone calls because it works with phone calls too. So I can hear when people say things to me. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for everything. I just closed the app. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't work for everything. So it's. I hate when they do that. Jeez. Alright. So the point is, for example, take the Discord app. Discord had, even though it's a freely available API for Discord, they chose not to use this on the phone. So when I'm in a voice voice chat on Discord, I cannot see these captions at all. They don't work. And I've tried to understand why. But the reason is because Discord has chosen, I can click this off now, so you see, has chosen not to use it. Okay? They have decided that it doesn't matter, that if you're blind or deaf, you will not need to be able to listen to people what they're saying. That is a violation of America's Disabilities Act, especially since Apple has already done the work for you. You just gotta work with the API tools that are available. I don't know if even with the Android phone, I looked to see if there was a similar app. There isn't one built in for accessibility. And for people with disabilities, that is not a luxury. That is a major sore point. If you can't communicate with them, why are you spending money on the phone if it doesn't work for you? If you can't hear anyone and you totally are befuddled because your viewers can't hear you clearly, or they can hear you clearly while you're screaming at the top of lungs, wondering why everybody's trying to say to you because you can't understand what's going on because there's no speech to text. And on top of that, they're wondering why you don't understand what's going on. Well, Apple, in their efforts to make their equipment more accessible, and this includes voiceover. I never did show you this, but I'll just tell you real quick. Voiceover on the iPhone 8 and 15 works with my Braille display as well, through Bluetooth. So I can actually pair my Braille display with these phones and I can read Braille. What's confusing is that there's a completely different set of commands in the Braille version versus the text version of iOS. So that's a problem too. So anyway, so I'm just gonna say yeah. Oh, I know there are apps, but it's built into the operating system. Well, it depends on the application. Sometimes the phones, each platform, and this includes Windows as well as Linux versus Mac. Might as well talk about that too. It's the same way. Each platform has a different mentality, and I'm using Mac, I'm using Windows, and I have used Linux in the past. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is what I noticed is whereas Apple, through their built-in accessibility suite, provides things like a screen reader called VoiceOver, Braille support, okay, and both the phone and the tablets and the desktop. Our PCs and Android are like, oh, you need to buy JAWS, you need to buy this program, and it costs you something like $900 or something like that. I don't know what how much it is a year, but I did price it, and it was pretty expensive. And so why am I paying for a software program that still sounds like a robot when I can have a software program for free that sounds like a human being and is able to actually communicate clearly with me? So that's again where the accessibility is where the Mac excels. Even the Hadley School for the Blind said this, as did Perkins. So you have this to consider, whereas for Windows users, they have to install all these shims, but the Mac doesn't have to do that, right? So same thing with the phones. Android phones, I'm sure, have a speech to text microphone add-on, but Discord should have done the same thing. If they could access, if say you have a certain API installed, i.e. the speech to text, there's no reason why they should not be using it. There's no reason. A lot of us have contacted Discord and said, look, you need to support these. The deaf users need this. It's not a luxury. And we need you to help us by making your app more accessible to our use so that we can communicate with people on the go. On the go meaning like when I'm using it when out in New York City. If I was to chat with somebody, I want to be able to see and hear what they're saying on my phone instead of having to listen to something that sounds like unintelligible. Because if I don't have the speech to text, I can't guarantee I'm going to understand exactly what's being said, which creates all of the confusion that we see on the show. Now, some of the trolls really love it because they think it's funny. But I'll tell you right now, it is not funny. It is frustrating. I am not kidding you. If you add in the ones and zeros, some things do better than other things. Of course, Google, for example, with YouTube app, Google runs and operates, creates apps natively for Android. So of course that makes sense. They know the API. They know what API calls use. When they were creating things for Apple, they have no control over the API. Apple does. So there's more or less, conversely, the same would be true if Apple wanted to create a voiceover app for Android. They probably would have the same problem where certain functions would not work because they don't have a clear definition of how to implement a certain feature. If that makes any sense. I think it does, but I think some people may not understand it. Michelle just doesn't get it. More people worldwide use Android than iPhone products. My Motorola phone has 2 onboard AI programs that can do almost everything better than well, each one uses what they want. How you doing, Valenia? Well, but there are things that Android does better than iOS, and there are things iOS does better than Android, and there are things better than Nokia's dumb phone that does better than both. That's the whole point, is people choose the platform they choose because they have their reasons. No one is necessarily wrong when they say that they feel that they're getting, that their phone is good or bad. They chose their phone for whatever they felt was more comfortable to them and worked for them. But one of the things, like I said, that got me all upset originally was the fact is that we were having the worst luck getting this phone to stream properly. Now that it is working, let's see if we can actually do some streaming and see if it doesn't. No, wait, because you'll just mess it up. Okay. This is typing Santa Crista. Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to explain to you all. And, I don't really have much more to say, really, but thank you so much for Valerie Salmon. I guess, was that supposed to be Valerie's daughter? Will she have a daughter? Yeah, she has family. Oh, she did have family. Okay. Yeah, she did have a family. Yeah, I figured it's a troll count. Well, right now I'm reading chat on Android. So, and even that's kind of problematic. Yeah. Michelle's already invested too much money into this stuff. It's just changed things that easily. Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I could have done this as a video and just recorded it and said it in a video form, but now I explain it in a video or in a live stream. So let's see how many views we got on this one. It's probably not many. Probably not many. All right, so for now, I'll let you guys go, and I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.